Now a winner must be crowned. The final of the Softball Australia Cup awaits us, and Australia and Japan have had some mighty battles across the 4 days of competition so far, and the margins have become increasingly more tight. Only one run has separated these two sides in their two most recent matchups. Australia have started well in every game they've played so far, but the elite Japanese side, well, they have proved exactly why they are current world champions and current reigning gold medalists at the Olympics too. Hello and welcome to Downy Park. It is the final of the Softball Australia Cup. And to take us through our broadcast and our team lips, let me pass on to our broadcast team in James Harris, Eric Bellner and Joyce Lester.
Well, thank you very much, Georgie, Eric, James, and the Olympic medalist in Joyce Lester here for a final. Now, it has been over a decade since Australia beat Japan, and to be honest, I don't know how good I was feeling about the chances at the start of this week. It had been a tough summer series, particularly against the USA, but this week the Aussie Spirit have hit the ball hard. They've pitched in clutch moments, and there's a lot of signs for optimism for the program. James, we will start with you because you called that softball cup against Japan last time. What's been the difference between Australia now and versus USA a few weeks ago?
A month ago, this team had 2 hits, scored 0 runs over a 4-game series against the might and power of the USA. But tonight, there's a feeling, there's belief, there's fire, there's spirit. And, you know, maybe it's the different format, 2 games a day. Maybe it's the long summer, Chinese Taipei series, USA, Gilly Shield, and this Australia Cup. We've got gutsy debutantes. There's belief with the experienced players. Maybe, just maybe, we gave too much respect to the USA.
Well, the Aussie Spirit have been so close to beating Japan. In fact, in 3 different games, they have had multi-run leads, none closer than what we saw earlier today. Australia led 4-2 in the 7th inning, 2 outs, 2-run lead in the last. They couldn't break through. Japan score 5 runs. They win that game 7-6. Joyce, you were watching this game very closely. It felt like more of the same again, but great execution you have to be wary of from Japan with 2 outs on the board.
Yes, well, 2 outs has been the real problem for Australia. Getting that 3rd out sometimes is very difficult. And we know when you get the Japanese team on a roll, someone gets a hit, it's like a tumbleweed. The next one follows, and then the next one follows, and they become really difficult to get out. They're fast, they put pressure on the whole time. And so for Australia in this game, they'll need to come out like they have in the other games, put the pressure on Japan, which has worked beautifully, and get runs in the first innings, and then really focus on that 3rd out in every innings to try and get it as soon as possible.
Well, it was been 12 of the last 13 runs Japan have scored against Australia with 2 outs on the board. Japan, a very tricky side to navigate. We'll go to you a lot tonight, Joyce. You've played in Japan. You go to Japan regularly. You have seen what makes this lineup full of champions, a team that has 6 World Cup champions in the lineup tonight, including we'll probably see her, the best in the world. With more on the game, let's head down to another 2-time Olympian down on the field, and Fiona Crawford standing by with Georgie Radjic.
That's right, here with Fiona Crawford. And Fiona, I've got to ask you some questions about the starting shortstops and the middle infield battle we've been seeing across. Where has it really been won and lost for these 2 teams so far?
Look, I think the defence across the board has been incredible, but in particular the middle infielders, and I'm not saying that just because I was one, have played a critical role. And I think that's because what we've seen is when the teams have been getting runners at second base, getting into that scoring position, they have been actually scoring the runs. So getting that lead out at second base has been critical. We saw 3 double plays in 1 game, in 2 innings, in fact, and last time the Australians played Japan. So I just think we're going to continue to see more aggression, going for more lead outs, just because these runs are at a premium.
And when you talk about experience, the 2 starting shortstops from both these teams, talk about a bit of a difference there. We have a series debutant in Maya Giros, who's been phenomenal throughout this series so far, but then you come against a World Championship winner in Kyoko Ishikawa. Talk about a little bit of stark differences between the 2, but both have been performing well.
Yeah, look, I don't think there's actually too much of a difference in there. I think Ishikawa's just got a cooler head. And just because she's been around for a little bit longer, she's obviously got a little bit more trust with her second base because they've been playing together for so long. And that's critical when you're talking about the pivots. You need to know where your shortstop and your second base is, particularly when you're trying to turn double plays. But look, hats off to Maya. She has had a tremendous tournament so far. I think she's got a massive career ahead of us.
And just quickly, Australia's now played 3 games back-to-back, especially that was a really long middle game against Japan. It was very tight. But then the last game against New Zealand, I don't think they anticipated it would have gone for as long as it did. Saw a lot of the players just trying to scoff down food. I know Jenna Trimms, they made a mention of trying to eat that 45 grams of protein in between games. It has been a big day of softball, a big week, so to speak, as well. How does that kind of relate? How do the players have to dig deep now to be able to see out this game well?
These girls are running on adrenaline. There's no doubt about that. They had a tremendous game against the Japanese, 2.5 hours, and they had really quality at-bats in that New Zealand game. So it wasn't that the game extended. They just went really deep into the counts and scored a lot of runs. So I think they're going into it with a huge amount of momentum, full of adrenaline. It's going to be a cracking game.
Thank you so much for joining me on the broadcast feed.
It's been so interesting to watch these teams go to work. If you take a look at a few of the games versus Australia and Japan, start on opening night, Australia led 3-0 earlier. Japan scored 7 unanswered en route to a 7-4 win. Australia had the early lead. Middle innings, Japan pulled away. Then yesterday, Australia led 2-0, and then Japan pulled away, but Australia came back on 2 different occasions to tie it before Japan walked it off to win 6-5. And today, the most heartbreaking of the losses from an Australian perspective, 4-2. They were up with 2 outs. Japan win it. They've been so close. There's a few learning lessons, but I've heard you all week, Joyce Lester, use the word Japan trains under duress. Can you maybe explain what that means to the new viewers tuning in this week about what kind of background these Japanese players have compared to the Australian players?
Well, the most important part is that it's their job and they train 6 days a week. So that in itself makes a massive difference when it comes to Australia. But in their trainings, what they will do every single training is they'll do a simulated game training. And they will put their top pitchers up against their own hitters. And the catcher is supposed to try and get their own hitters out. We're a bit nicer here. We like to give our players a little bit of confidence. But over there, you actually get into trouble if you allow your teammates to get hits. There's no soft times at all. And then they set up situational plays, of course, in that simulation. And, of course, it's all under duress. And, you know, you get into trouble. You know, it's the same as playing in a game. And I know you shouldn't say get into trouble, but there's a lot of discipline over there. They're very, very strict coaches.
They are a World Cup winner, an Olympic gold winner for a reason, and you've seen them come through in big moments all week, time and time again. And when Joyce says it is their job, she means it. It is literally their job. Companies own softball teams across the country, and you are an employee in the softball division, and you get to play. And Joyce, correct me if I'm wrong, these are training facilities that have access to everything you need. Food, gym, pool, workout to analytics, all those little things that can make you a better athlete.
Yes, money is no object over there, so very different to Australia. But, you know, in the SGH area, you have a couple of fields, the skin diamonds that you work on. They actually have a pool, weights, everything. You don't have to move at all. And if it rains, you have indoor nets and indoor training facilities. So they're very, very lucky.
James, from watching Australia all week and calling their games, what is that one thing that they have been doing well that they need to keep doing if they want to have a chance versus the world number 1 tonight?
I think their most successful innings is when they string their hits together. They are compounding their walks and their hits together to be able to drive in those runs, and then the confidence is breeding confidence within that unit. They're getting around each other, they're supporting one another. It feels like a coherent unit, and the fight that they're showing, they are making Japan scrap with everything that they've got to shake these Australians.
This is how Australia will line up. They'll be the away team in bat first. Tamika Whitefield will lead things off. She is on fire with the bat right now, had 3 hits in her last game. Maya Giros, she is on fire with the bat right now. She had 3 hits in her last game.
Leading the competition with 10 hits after the minor round.
Taylor Tsitsikronis, she is on fire with the bat right now. She's had multi-hit games on 3 occasions. Jenna Trim, she is on fire with the bat right now. She's hit 2 home runs in a day. That was yesterday. Alyssa Mile, her last game, 3 hits in a game. She is on fire with the bat right now. Pippa Adkins, she's been consistent on base every single game and unbelievable in center field. Took a catch. Amber Hood batting 7th. She's got hits in her last 4 games, I should say, to get on this squad. Kylie Steamers hit a clutch 2-out, 2 RBI double 2 games ago versus Japan. And Chelsea Robinson earns her way playing third base today. Joyce, this Aussie Spirit team, they had a few returning players, but they've also got players making their debut. Is there anyone in this starting 9, this lineup, that you feel, wow, I feel really good that they've earned their way in the 9 to play for a final championship here for Australia?
Well, it's congratulations to everyone on the starting lineup, but definitely Maya Giros has lifted herself. She's been amazing, cemented herself in that top 9, being great on the field, maybe probably only having 1 or 2 errors in the time, but always comes back. She's a steady, confident player. And Alyssa Mile, she's just gets better and better. One of the only players to get a hit against the USA team, of course, which gives her an extra plus. It's such a great performance. And Chelsea Robinson, who's come back, we can't forget that there she is playing at third base today, and really not her number 1 position, but she is such a steady player.
Chelsea Robinson and Amber Hood and Maya Giros all debuting this week and in the starting 9, and it's not by accident. They have earned their way there. Robinson, 29 years old, Hood, 27 years old, both making their debut this weekend after a long await. Well, on Japan's lineup, we will go through it a little later on. They've got a bunch of world champions, but they've got to go against Mio Sakamoto, who has been one of the best pitchers in the Diamond League. That's the professional league you talk about. Had a 1.92 ERA this year. If you're new to softball, watching on KO, that basically means over the stretch of the game, she allows a little bit less than 2 runs per game. You can call it in or outing, expect her to maybe go 5 innings and allow 1 run. The whole point of this story is Sakamoto doesn't give up many runs. Australia's defense will have to be at a premium if they want to get them tonight.
Yes, they will, and they'll have to, as we said before, make sure that third out comes very, very quick. But they're just playing so well. I've loved the way they've come out, hit every single team in the first innings and scored. That will be most important in this game, to keep continuing that pressure from the start.
For Japan, they'll lead off with Kyoko Ishikawa, a world champion and 3-time club champion in Japan. Urara Fujimoto has been excellent as well. She's with a powerhouse big camera and a world champion. Maya Okawa, she has broke through this tournament, one of the leaders in batting. There hasn't been a more powerful bat than Sayori Yamauchi, who has been excellent in her first regular stint in this top Japanese side. Hitaro Tsukamoto bats 5. She's been a hitting champion in the Diamond League. Kana Kudo, an MVP in the Diamond League. Iri Shimayama, she's won a World Cup with Japan. Natsumi Fujimura, she's won an MVP in the Diamond League. And Yumi Kirashe, well, she caught the World Cup final, both to Miyu Goto and to Ueno. James, you list out players with resumes longer than you can even remember. One player in this lineup that stood out to you this week.
Urara Fujimoto, without a doubt, the 4'11" pocket rocket. She's an absolute dynamo for Japan. She plays in the outfield. She bats in the top order. Will we pause for the anthems?
Yeah, we will pause for the anthems and be back with first pitch. Any better feelings than hearing your country's anthem before you represent your country? Going toe-to-toe, two great and proud nations. Australia has really improved over this summer of softball, and this grand final represents the culmination in all of that. It should be an excellent one tonight. We're going to stand by now for a ceremonial first pitch. Those anthems in this game performed in front of dozens of Olympians in the house, who many have won Olympic medals for their country. And someone who has played more than anyone else, it's Stacey Porter-Joyce. I think we've got to throw it over to you about what Stacey Porter has meant to this country when it comes to softball.
She is actually what I would consider one of the best players in the world. She's deserves everything she gets tonight. She's been inducted into the Australian Softball Hall of Fame. But even more so than that, she'll get inducted into anything around because she is just the most talented athlete ever. When she first went to Japan, she probably, I wouldn't say struggled in the first year, but sort of edged her way in that first year. And from that time on, you don't see many players who hit the ball consistently over there who are Australian. That she really made a mark and made the top 9 a few times in the 18 years that she's played over there. Oh my goodness.
She's still playing over in Japan. She knows a lot of players on both of these sides as she goes through and gives some high fives. I wonder what she was more nervous for. A big at-bat in an Olympic Games, winning a medal, or having to stand and pitch a ball in front of all her friends and families before the grand final.
Oh, I think it was more when she was receiving a Hall of Fame, when she, stated that mum wasn't here anymore. Very sad. Very
touching moments in a pregame ceremony. One of 3 players inducted into the Softball Australia Hall of Fame. Well, let's go down field side. Georgia Rajic is there with one of the Aussie players.
Well, I'm here with Steph Straczynski. I don't know if you can hear me, Steph, because your side, they're making plenty of noise right now. Well, you're an Australian pitcher, of course. You faced Japan in that last game. What will Kendra Lamb be looking at with this Japanese side in the first couple of innings?
We've played Japan a lot this week. We're getting better and better, and we're learning more and more each game. She's just working to do absolutely everything she can out there, ground them out, pop them up, use the defense behind her as best she can.
Well, my next question was, what does Australia have to do to get over the line? But I feel like that is your answer there, and there has to be something particularly special. You have been oh so close, and it's been some brilliant watching, to say the least. How much grit and determination has come into this very game?
So much has come in. The momentum's definitely been building, and we've got a really good feeling about tonight.
Thank you so much for joining me. All the best with the game this evening.
Thank you.
On the circle, Mio Sakamoto. She'll be throwing to Yumi Kirishie in left field. It is Satoru Tsukamoto, Urara Fujimoto in center, Natsumi Fujimori in right field. Saori Yamauchi is at third, Kyoko Ishikawa, the captain, at shortstop, Kana Kudo at second. Those two have been brilliant in tandem. Mayo Ukawa is at first. Yume Kirishie is catching Sakamoto in the circle. Umpires tonight, Christy Travers is calling the balls and strikes. Evan Clark at first base. Stuart Tyler at second. And Heidi Leffler, I should say, is at third base. Leading off is Tamika Whitefield, and your game caller is James Harris.
Brilliant intro. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Joyce. Thank you, Georgia. We are all set and ready to go. Sakamoto, ball in hand. Tamika Whitefield, bat in hand. Shows bunt and just low and away. Able to pull out and get ahead of the count early. 1-0, the final of the Australia Cup 2026 edition.
Seeing that picture, just putting it on the outside of the plates, and they're so good at just being able to get it just on the plate or just off. Always tough to bat against Japanese pitchers.
In the dirt for ball 3 is now an interesting time to say that Sakamoto has not walked one batter in this tournament.
Oh, I'm happy for you to say that.
Around 100. Speed's coming in thanks to Janelle Barrett. Called strike. Whitefield wanted first. She'll return with a 3-1 count. Massive crowd in at Downy Park. Change up, fouled off, will go forward. Massive crowd, Joyce. We've had good crowds all week, but plenty coming in for the Hall of Fame inductions, but they're all here tonight for this final.
They are. They've come from all around and back from the old days, given that there was a VIP function here, which is always a great idea to get players back.
A pop-up for Kudo, and Sakamoto does not walk her first batter as Tamika Whitefield is retired.
I was hoping it was the commentator's curse.
I want to talk about some swag, though, from Sakamoto. I mean, she gets the soft contact, and immediately she just pointed at the catcher as that ball went over her head. Didn't even look at the field, just stone cold, point to the catcher, smile, ball caught, first out.
Maya Giros debuted in this tournament and leads all comers in this event with 10 hits. That's over, 8 games?
That's pretty great for someone who first year it is in the Olympic team. Sorry, not Olympic team, Australian team. That's way before myself.
You're a couple of years ahead of yourself. Sakamoto gets ahead of the count. 0-2. And Giros good enough to foul it off. Those 10 hits come with a 385 batting average. There's been a spark at the top of the order for the Aussie Spirit.
And we've spoken before about these young players coming in, setting a standard and making it more competitive to be in the team.
Try for a ball.
Well left by Giros.
One, two with one out. Giros attacks behind in the count and fouls it off. Will stay alive. Taylor Titsakronis has been rested all day. Awaits in the on-deck circle. She leads the Aussie batting averages with 500 and one of 7 Aussie batters with a on-base average of 400 or better. In the left-handed batter's box for a ball, and it's been a good battle. Giros able to stay away from the bad pitches. Kerry Porter on screen. She's had a mammoth task this week, juggling teams occasionally, or more often than not, back-to-back double headers. Today, 3 in a row as Giros goes down swinging.
And it must be very, very hard for her. You know, you've got 4 pitches. Today you've got 3 games, and you really have to work hardest to know which pitches you throw when. And we saw in that last game they started Lamb in the hope that it would be a short game. She'd probably do 2 innings, and things just didn't work out the way Australia wanted it. And now here they are in the grand final, 3rd game in a row.
Sakamoto going straight inside on Taylor Titsakronis. 4 of her 6 hits have been for extra bases.
Beautiful pitch.
Not only does she has the highest batting average of 500, but the highest slugging percentage at .833.
Got to go against one of the best, though, here in Sakamoto, who has been consistently incredible in the Diamond League.
And catches the outside edge for back-to-back strikeouts. And Japan are off to a flying start.
Yeah, it's not too surprising. Sakamoto has only had an ERA of over 2 once in her Diamond League career. She keeps it low, and she doesn't play for one of the powerhouse teams either, not one of those big 3 sides. She plays for Hitachi, still a pretty good team, but often goes against some of the best batting lineups and mitigates that threat too. It's one of the reasons she was on that World Cup winning side. Well, we will flip over the lineup card and get a look at how Japan will bat in order. Kyoko Ishikawa will lead things off. Urara Fujimoto batting second. Mayu Okawa third. Sayori Yamauchi is batting fourth. Hataro Tsukamoto fifth. Kanakudo sixth. Iri Shimoyama seventh. Natsumi Fujimura eighth. Yume Kirishe batting ninth. Round the diamond and left to right in the outfield, Amber Hood, Pippa Adkins, and Alyssa Mile. In the infield at third, Chelsea Robinson, Maya Giros at short, Tamika Whitefield at second, Kylie Steamers at first, Taylor Titsakronis is catching the balls and strikes to, well, the woman they're going to in their biggest game, Kendra Lamb. Not long ago, she was in the circle for New South Wales at the National Championships, and she diced up South Australia in a complete game shutout, helping New South Wales take the title back from South Australia in a battle against the defending champions. And Kendra Lamb has really started to emerge in front of our eyes, Joyce Lester.
Sorry, I missed that.
Kendra Lamb.
Sorry.
You've been watching, just dazed by Kendra Lamb. She's starting to grow up big time in front of our eyes.
She is. I'm really sorry. I was actually watching the three players in the outfield. And look, Kendra Lamb's an amazing pitcher. She gets better and better as she goes on. You know, her repertoire is great. She's got great movement, curves both sides of the plate. She's got a beautiful rise ball. And when she's at her best, she can really throw that rise ball as a low rise ball, which not many pitchers can do. You have to be pretty strong and have good wrist strength to be able to do that. And, of course, her change-up is pretty good as well. So we'll be hoping to see that great repertoire against Japan.
All set to go through the warm-ups. Kyoko Ishikawa will lead off for the Japanese, and Kendra Lamb, through 16 and a third innings, has thrown 21 strikeouts, an ERA of 1.29. Ishikawa, 462 batting average, and one of 10 Japanese batters with a 400 or better on-base percentage.
That's pretty amazing, isn't it, when you look at those averages?
Lamb straight in there, 105. Tries to catch the inside of the plate. It's a lot cooler right now than what it was even half an hour ago, as the sun begins to set on Downy Park in this Softball Australia Cup Grand Final. Finds the zone. Kendra Lamb will go ahead of the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Powerful left-handed lineup, this Japanese team. Left-handed heavy, I should say.
Yes.
That one just misses on the outside.
And not only are they 2 steps closer being on the left-hand base, but they're also quick. There is not one person in that team who you would even say was slow or even close to not fast.
Ishikawa in the box is just winning all kinds of awards and recognitions for her work in the domestic competition. She's been in the best 9 on multiple occasions, a couple batting titles. She's now become a leader on this Japanese top side, the best in the world, including playing at World Cups.
This one gets away from Lamb a little bit, and Ishikawa is going to lead off with a base on balls. This was a little bit of trouble for Australia in the USA Down Under series, allowing free bases, and you don't want to give Japan any freebies in a grand final.
You definitely don't. And your lead-off header, we keep talking about it every game, that basic point of getting that first out early. If you give a base away, they nearly always score.
Urara Fujimoto. The average has dropped a little bit today, all the way down to 400 with a 520 on-base percentage. She can move. There's Taylor Titsakronis on screen. She's got a bit to think about. That runner on one, a speedster at the plate.
I think Japan already probably have to be pretty happy with how they've started. They've In 4 games versus Australia, not once have they had the lead after the first inning. In fact, 3 times they've trailed after 1 inning. Australia's 9 of their 14 runs versus Japan have come in the opening digs.
Well, hopefully the change will be in this game. They lost all of those games, Australia, when they did that. But hopefully, maybe the sign of them not getting in the first dig might mean they're going to win. Change it up for once.
Australia shut out in 4 games against USA, only the once in the Australia Cup. Ground ball for Lamb. She's good enough to catch the speedster, but Fujimoto advances Ishikawa into scoring position for the power of Okawa. Due up next.
And that's tough because that went straight into the ground, gave it a little bit of air, which gives that runner a little bit more time to get the base. But luckily, Kendra Lamb flicked that ball quickly to first base.
Okawa, #1 in averages for this Japanese team with 583. #1 for on-base percentage with 688. #1 for slugging with 1250. And #1 with OPS at 1938. Big swing and a miss.
It was a big swing and a miss.
Well, this middle of the lineup of Okawa, Yamauchi, and Tsukamoto has been brilliant. I mean, they were 9 for 9, or 8 for 8 with a walk, I should say, versus New Zealand in their game earlier today.
Fouls this one off, and thanks again to Janelle. The speed's coming in. Lamb has dialed it up 108 for the first 2 pitches to get ahead of the count on Okawa. Fouls that third one off.
That's great that she's hitting those speeds, but as we know, it's going to be the change of speeds and mixing it up a bit to these Japanese players and making sure the whole ball doesn't go on the plate. And that way she'll be really successful.
In the dirt, blocked by Titsakronis, keeping Ishikawa at bay. This Japanese team has stolen 21 bases in this tournament. And for Australia, 1.
It's going to put a lot of pressure on a rookie left side of the diamond, too, in Robinson and Giros.
Hard hit ball to the left side. It gets past Amber Hood all the way to the fence. Ishikawa is going to score. And Okawa with yet another RBI in this tournament.
Yeah, the pages have turned, haven't they, with Japan coming straight in at Australia and turning the pressure the opposite way. That's a beautiful hit there by Okawa. Opposite field.
Just so reflective of how Japan ended that game versus Australia too, right? They fall behind early, but they work their way back into counts. They foul a bunch of pitches off. They finally get one to drive. It's just so hard to strike these batters out because they've got such a clear command of the strike zone.
Yes, and that would be a lot of that simulated training because it's every single day and it's just over and over. It's repetitious.
No reprieve for Australia. This one goes to the back of the net, and Okawa advances to third. Another free base for Japan. Saori Yamauchi has also plenty of power, 3 home runs, 12 RBIs so far in this 4-day series.
Had the bases clearing triple versus Australia earlier as well.
That one broke the backs of the Aussies on a pitch that she shouldn't have even swung for. That one up and in.
Australia really need to tighten up here. We're just looking a little bit sloppy. Tidy it all up.
Foul ball. Killed off by Steamers, and Lamb can reset. at 2-2 count. You're right, Joyce. A lead-off walk, and it was a hard hit shot, so it was tough for the left fielder to stop it. But then a pass ball to allow that runner from 2 to get to 3. It's something that they need to complete 7 full innings of softball to win this game. There is no run rule in the final. Two count with 1 out. Runner at third for Japan as they lead 1-0 here in the home half of the first inning. They earned that by going undefeated throughout the rounds.
Nice stop by Tits Cronus, gets right in behind that ball, blocking it, so the runner can't come home.
Full count. Here comes the payoff pitch. Hard hit shot straight away, centre field. Pippa Atkins has to get back, but it's over the fence. A home run to Yamauchi.
Wow, she got all of that, didn't she? She just banged it, and we've seen her do it before. She's such a good hitter, great power hitter. That's why she's batting 4th for the #1 team in the world.
I think that was a pun. That's what she said. She's done it before, because that's her 4th home run of this tournament and the 4th day of play. And it's amazing because she went 0 for 5 on the first day of the tournament, and sort of told one of our interviewers, Georgia and Georgie, that, hey, you know what? I was nervous on the first day of the tournament. I was in Australia. I'm on the senior squad. She took some time the night before. She adjusted, and then she just started letting it rip. And it is now a 3-0 game.
Wataru Tsukamoto, the new hitter up for Japan as they race away to a 3-0 lead. Lamb straight back into the strike zone after giving up a double and then a 2-run home run for this Japanese middle order. Tsukamoto has an extra base hit. It's a triple. She's got 3 RBIs and that .417 average. Watchful, 3 walks as well as a hit by pitch. On base of .529. This one.
I look at the Japanese hitters and I look at the Aussie hitters, and I think the Japanese stand up much taller in the batting box than the Australians do. Ours really crouch down quite a bit, and I often wonder why. Is there an advantage to it? And when you see these batters who are hitting all the time, you know, you wonder what the best way of doing it is. Obviously, it's successful to do it this way.
Kendra Lamb with her first strikeout of the game finds the inside edge. 2 out.
Beautiful pitch, Kendra Lamb.
Watch on the replay, too. A little bit of emotion from Hikaru Tsukamoto after that as well. And Justine Smethurst, who was inducted in the Hall of Fame today, made a really good point earlier in the week saying, hey, you got to remember, these Japanese players, they're human. They're also nervous just like the Aussies are. They play the same game that we do. I mean, it's... read off all those stats and you can watch them train, and it is very machine-like the way they go about their business. But watch right here. You can start to frustrate them. That's when you can create a bit of pressure and see if you can find a crack.
Plenty of softballs still to go. Like I said, we've got to play out 7, Joyce.
We do, and we really have to get this 3rd out. We said at the beginning, we have to get it now. This has to be the batter. We cannot let the Japanese score again this innings.
Kana Kudo, 294. She's probably favoured in the starting lineup due to her defensive prowess, because although I'd take 294 playing for my country, she probably sits in the bottom 3 as we look at the lineup.
They're such a successful batting team. It's really hard to get the ball past. I know it's easy to sit and watch, but all of the effort that goes into Canberra putting in those pitches, and these guys have seen them a million times over.
Free base for Kudo. And timeout just called by the Aussies just to have a chat, because that's her second walk in this inning. She's given up 2 extra base hits. And number 7, batting 7, is Iri Shimiyama.
You like that, Joyce, as a catcher, just knowing when to pick your spot for those mound visits?
Oh, look, I think being a catcher is very difficult, and you have to do a lot of homework and know your hitters. And I think Taylor Titsakronis is one of the best in the business, of course, the best in Australia. They've done the homework, but the real thing is that Kendra Lamb just has to hit those spots. And she has to make sure the spin on the ball is perfect and hitting the spot at the same time.
Sounds so easy. It's one of the hardest things to do, you would say. This
Yes.
game is so challenging.
Yeah, and look, Taylor Titsakronis did pick the right time to go and talk to her, of course, because she was obviously nervous.
Great pitching and a great comeback as well. 3-pitch strikeout for Kendra Lamb. Both her strikeouts were looking.
Now, we do have our 4th member of the commentary crew. Let's head down to Georgia Rajic.
That's right. I'm here with Kelly McCullough-Nathan, a board member for Softball Australia. I would want to talk. It was great so far in the game. Unfortunately, in that innings for Japan, able to get 3 runs on the board. But I want to talk about some of the Indigenous pathway programs being run by Softball Australia. There's a very exciting one with named after one of the newest members of the Hall of Fame, the Stacey Porter Indigenous Talent Program. Can you tell me a little bit about it, please?
The program will be launched later this year, but basically it's about identifying and nurturing talent in the early stages, so that they can follow in the footsteps of Stacey one day.
We can always hope to have more players, and considering that, probably synonymous with softball in this country as well. You yourself are a silver medalist at the 1998 World Championships. You carried that in a game against Japan. Do you have any great memories of that particular tournament?
The World Championships is just a highlight for anybody. I think that we were able to really challenge them at that level. So all the training and the competition paid off for that to happen.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for joining me here on the broadcast.
Thanks a lot to Georgia and to Kelly. It was in Japan, not in the 98 World Cup, and it was in the most controversial way. I'm still dirty about this, and I'm only a fan, right? It was rained out. USA were the second team to make the grand final, and they played it after hours, right? That was past midnight.
It was. I was there.
Australia should have been, according to the rules, they should have been awarded the World Championship.
I'm not sure about it, but I'd rather win, the right way rather than hope that you didn't play. I'd rather play against the best in the world and win to win a gold. And I know I was there as a spectator. It was after I retired, and I thought, I don't want to miss the World Championship. So I went with a few friends, and we sat in the outfield and enjoyed it. And it was a great tournament, overlooking the beautiful Mount Fuji.
Here we are, top of the second inning, and Jenna Trimms leading things off for the Aussie Spirit.
She has been one of the breakout players of this tournament. The spectacled assassin at the plate. Has crushed balls, 2 home runs in a day yesterday, Joyce.
Yes, she's really hitting form, and hopefully she can keep it for this grand final game.
Swing and a miss. It's 3 consecutive strikeouts for Sakamoto.
Sakamoto's really working hard to try and get those batters out. Her angle on her pitch is almost perfect in this game. Very, very difficult.
Melissa Mile hits 5. Missed day 1 and has come back on fire. 8 hits, hitting .471.
I don't think I've ever seen an Australian team with such great batting averages. I'm only going to say ever.
Team average of 304. 66 hits in 8 games.
That's fantastic.
But it seems to have just got better as the week's gone on. I mean, you think about some of the opening games of the tournament. I mean, obviously they had a narrow loss. They did all their scoring in the first inning versus Japan, and then they came back the next morning and lost 5-0 versus Japan. So it's really been those last 5 games that Australia's really started to pile it on.
Every batter that's gone to the box has registered a hit, and all but 3 batters have registered an extra base hit. 20 extra base hits in the tournament, so Joyce, spot on. Great performance, contributions throughout the entire lineup, which means for KP, throughout this game, she can go to the bench knowing that there's someone there waiting to contribute.
Oh, there certainly is. Like when you look, everyone, you talked about it the other day about Japan having 1 to 9 and all of them being able to hit. Well, that's Australia right now.
Just over the head. I thought there was some chalk. Alyssa Meyer will return with a 2-2 count. And our team at Spacequake Sport also on debut for Softball Australia. Technically, they did the Aussie Spirit versus the Denso Bright Pegasus in Adelaide just before COVID. But this one's a WBSC sanctioned event. Some great camel work all week long. Thank you, team. Meyer pulls this one to the left side, and getting underneath it is the left fielder, Tsukamoto, taking a great, brave catch, running into the warning track.
She juggled it.
Replay.
It is very hard. None of the diamonds in Japan have any cement around the edge. It's actually quite dangerous, really, to have that brick wall. You've never seen a baseball diamond like that, have you?
Not like that. Not with the brick wall down that line. And you saw a great play from one of the Japanese fielders earlier in the game where she ran up against the wall to make a diving catch, running into the cement and the chain link.
Pippa Adkins to the plate for the Aussie Spirit. Has been in the Spirit team for a few years now. Hitting 300 for the tournament, 444 on base. 6th batter to the plate for the Spirit. The previous 5 all retired.
And I love to see how they keep changing around their batting order, because Pippa Atkins has been 4, she's been 1, and she was 1 for quite a while, wasn't she?
Fouls this one off.
She's having a great time, Sakamoto.
Where else would you rather be than on a softball diamond?
Nowhere.
I agree, Joyce. Are we looking at Eric? Don't say the ice. Eric's also a ice hockey commentator. He's a baseball commentator. But he does his best work on the softball diamond.
And the dance floor, don't forget.
Adkins fouls this one off. 2-2 count. With 2 out here in the second.
Strong.
Oh, dear.
Wow, a call from third base ends the threat, and what a great start for Mia Sakamoto, who's gone 6 up, 6 down, 2 looking, a couple swinging, and Sakamoto is starting to groove out there.
She went. Definitely went, didn't she?
Yeah.
Struck out. Well called by the umpire.
Strikeout number 4 for Sakamoto, and Australia with a job ahead of them when you're facing a pitcher with a 0 ERA and chasing 3 early runs.
We'll have to see whether Australia can keep them to their 3 runs, and hopefully as they go through in their second time through batting, they'll be able to pick up the angle on the ball by Sakamoto, because at the moment they're really struggling with swinging the bat hard and meeting that ball.
Yeah, you got to wonder, there's a few factors at play. I mean, obviously this is the 3rd game in a row for Australia. On top of that, they're going against a team they have been bamboozled by late in some games. A couple near hits in that game, just missing out. Well, now they got to go against another MVP of the Diamond League to start off this inning in Fujimori, and it just doesn't get easier. Important for a hold here for Kendra Lamb.
Yeah, Natsumi, relatively quiet tournament for an MVP standard, hitting 308, but 4 RBIs and a couple of extra base hits.
I'd be happy with that.
Yeah. Shows bunt, pulls out, but a called strike. 1-1. Staying inside on Fujimori.
I wonder what that whack on the hip was about by Fujimori.
Just then?
Yeah. It was almost like a little discipline thing that she did.
Keep my eye out. Got a big unit sitting in front of me blocking home plate. 3-1.
Ooh.
It's in there for a called strike, and I think Fujimori had a plan on that pitch just to watch whatever came down. As that caught most of the plate. Full count. Swing and a miss. Kendra Lamb has 3 strikeouts.
Well, that's amazing for a couple of reasons. I mean, entering this game, Japan had struck out just 14 times over their 8 games played. They don't strike out at all. Well, they barely strike out. I just said they struck out 14 times. I mean, normally a team strikes out 5-6 times a game. That is just incredible.
Yumi Karishi is the batter in the box.
Australia struck out 31 times in 8 games for reference. And that's not a bad number,
good.
right? Like,
It's
it's still less than 4 a game. So you'd be saying Australia, great job. 31 strikeouts, only 4 a game. Looking pretty solid, but 14 is what Japan have done.
It's the gold standard. One and one for the 9-hitter, Karishi. Taylor Titsikronis has to reach for that one, and she's labouring a bit. 4th day, a hot week.
And lots of games, 2 games every day, 3 games today, and 3 in a row. I mean, she's had a rest, but saying that, it's tough.
She's made appearances in 6 games. I think one of them was a pinch hit, which means that she's had, you know, probably 3 full games off, including the first 2 before today. So still a great contribution. She's obviously helping out with the younger catchers that are in this squad, or younger than her. Chelsea Robinson and Amber Hood have both gone behind the mask this week.
Yeah, and she caught the 2 games on the one day on the first day.
Yeah. 2-2.
That's a nice pitch.
Yeah, just missing on the inside edge.
Just try to jam her up.
That's a really tough pitch to hit, getting your hands to that and being able to put it as a safe hit.
Tough pitch to lay off, too, when it's a 2-2 count.
Yeah.
Payoff pitch is there to be hit, but it's fouled down the left side. We can see the Aussie bullpen has moved into the warning track area. And we found out from Georgia Rajic yesterday that it gets a little dark. Or 2 days ago, I think it was now. Yes. It gets a little dark in the bullpens.
Yes, at night time. Yeah.
Still full. Outside edge for a strikeout number 2 in this inning, and 4 of the first 5 batters strike out, 4 of the first 9 strike out, but the others contributing to tally 3.
3 in a row.
Okay, a definite improvement this dig by Kendra Lamb and Taylor Titsakrominis, working very well in the bottom of the second innings.
3 in a row. 4 of the last 5 batters have been struck out.
Yeah, getting better and better. Bit of a rocky start, and hopefully Australia can get back these 3 runs.
They've been pesky, the Aussies, all week long. I wouldn't count that out.
Called strike on the inside edge. 0-2. That's a better start against Ishikawa, who walked her first time up.
She's just hitting spots with authority right now.
Oh. Lost the handle on that one. One, 2 with 2 out. The all-important 3rd out for Australia. Spoke about it at the top of the show. A good percentage of runs scored with 2 outs, Japan. Leading for Eric to try and give me that stat again.
Yeah, 13 of 14 versus the last 14 runs versus Australia. But today, not right now. The 2 runs are scored with 1 out on the board. No, yeah, that is true.
Big swing fouls that one off. It's way foul as well.
And Miss Lamb on the mound started putting the K in Kendra. 4.
How many games has it been?
Great pitching, way out of the zone, catches Ishikawa. That makes it 4 strikeouts in a row and 5 of the last 6 batters, and Kendra Lamb on a roll.
Well, we're watching Kendra on the mound right now, but let's throw it down to Georgia with an interview.
That's right. I'm here with one of the newest inductees of the Softball Australia Hall of Fame, Chelsea Falcon. Chelsea, you have the honour of being one of 2 players who represent Australia at an open level in both softball and baseball. A pretty remarkable achievement, of course, inducted in the Hall of Fame. Tell me a little bit about your softball journey.
Yeah, thank you for that. I came across from baseball when I was about 16 and had the honour of playing for the Aussie Spirit in 2007 in the Redlands, actually. And I guess never really looked back from then and just kind of stayed in the squad and kept playing and travelling. And it was, really probably the greatest time of my life being able to play for the Spirit. So some really good times.
Of course, we've had a little bit of chat. You grew up in Western Australia, played a lot there, and now moved over to Queensland and played a fair bit here at Downy Park. It's been pretty special to have international softball here. You've got some pretty fond memories of this place from the sounds of it.
Oh, some of the greatest memories playing with some of my best mates here. For the Bears Softball Club, actually. So it was such an amazing time being able to play here at Downy, and now see the girls playing here tonight. It's been fabulous.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Top of the 3rd, Amber Hood to lead things off for the Aussies. You both point at the screen at the same time during that interview. What did I miss?
I was pointing at my sister.
She's made it on the stream a few times.
Amber Hood gets the ball rolling for the Aussies with a single to left field. Has fought her way into this starting lineup. Didn't start on day 1. Didn't play on day 1 and sits 4th in the batting averages with 333.
And that was the name I missed on the original question at the start of this when Amber Hood is first time in the Aussie team, and she's worked her way to be in the top 9 in the grand final. That's an awesome job.
5 games in a row with a hit now for Georgia Hood, or Amber Hood, sorry.
No.
I got a Georgie Radjic, but I was about to say Georgia Hood, her sister, makes the squad before her. And Amber has sort of watched that happen and has worked hard in the background to hear her name called. Ever since she was presented that cap from Joyce Lester after she played her first game, that bat has become magic.
Unstoppable.
Yes, I'm sure it's all just Amber because she's such a gutsy player and she's always gets hits at the best times.
Steamers has a swing at that change-up. There's Amber Hood on screen.
Super popular player at home, too, just amongst her friends and teammates.
And out of Mount Gambier.
Yeah, that's a good point. 5 hours she had to drive to get to the ballpark.
She would drive 5 hours with her mum and her sister to play in the Premier League, stay the night for state training and drive home over the course of a weekend, then made the decision to move to North Plimpton. I forget her landlord's name there as she shared a room with that guy. Just off the end of the barrel, and a double play attempt beats it out. Steamers gets there in time, but Amber Hood forced out at second. Always a tricky one to field, the one that screws off the end of the bat.
Yeah, beautiful hands here by the shortstop. Very, very quick. And you can see how compact their throws are. They get away, get the ball away so quickly.
I mean, Fiona Crawford talked about that at the beginning of the broadcast, just how polished these two middle infielders are for Japan, and really everybody has been. And I think that was recognized by Kylie Steamers, who just charged down the line to keep this inning alive and get on base. But Joyce, you said it a bunch too. I mean, this is what they do. They hate ground balls. This is well drilled. This comes from practice.
It does, and it comes from practice under pressure. And I wonder how much more of it we need, and maybe that's a focus from this time on.
We're talking about practice. That's from, it doesn't matter.
Allen Iverson.
Chelsea Robinson hitting 9 for the Spirit. 1-1 count, swings and misses.
How's the sunglasses here for Sakamoto? Can't even look into her eyes. I like it. Just a steely approach.
There must be some reason for it. It must be the glare. I can't imagine why anyone would want to wear sunglasses, or maybe they're special type of sunglasses for nighttime.
Well, we saw it, I think, on the first night.
Yes.
With Nakamura had a similar pair of glasses, and I mentioned she was wearing sunnies under the lights. So too is Sakamoto. Here's the top of the order for the Aussie Spirit. Tamika Whitefield. Steamers stranded on one.
Whitefield has been driving the ball the last 24 hours. Driving it.
She has. And you see what I was talking about, just how deep in our legs we are when we hit as compared to the Japanese. And they stand so tall when they bat, and we are really into our legs quite a bit of the way. It'd be interesting to find out scientifically or biomechanically which is best.
Steamers takes off on the pitch, decided not to slide, and the foot got under the tag. Second base umpire Stuart Tyler explaining that to Ishikawa. Let's have a look on the replay. She didn't even sprint there.
Well, I can't believe she didn't slide. That's unusual.
Maybe it was a hit and run. She didn't hit the pop of the bat, and surprised as the rest of us were that she up the middle. Nice take from Ishikawa, plays third. Steamers doesn't break stride and slides into home.
Oh my goodness, Steamers, that was absolutely amazing. You sprinted all the way through on that, just a dive to the infield. How on earth does that happen? She's just been so aggressive and have really caught Japan off guard.
Well, Ishikawa was smart. She dove and thought this runner's going to turn, look for home. But Steamers didn't stop. She got waved through, slides in, and it's a run scored from the Aussies.
Wow, you would not ever see that again. That was amazing.
Literally the moment after she, I don't know if she knew she stole second base, but that's exactly what happened.
Didn't hold up that time. My Juros comes to the plate. Aussies get one back.
It's a big fight back. I mean, Australia's been doing that sort of all week, right? I mean, it would have been easy to hang your head after you went down after having the 4-2 lead. Japan scored 5. Australia scored 2 runs and almost took the lead for good after that.
Yeah, left runners on base.
But they're so surprising. It's like they're just not giving up all the time. They just keep hacking back, and chipping away at Japan. I love it.
Kind of that quality you want in any team, just in terms of the character of the players, just that no quit factor.
And still, that was a lovely hit by Tamika Whitefield. And what a dive to even stop it. Yeah. You know, that's a hit to 6 again.
And then the throw to 3 should have gone home, but it was just, like you said it so well, Joyce, they just caught them off guard.
Well, it surprised me.
Swing and a miss. Giros will go down swinging for the second time in this game. It's Sakamoto's 5th strikeout, but not before the Aussies plate one. Let's have a look.
Well, look at the third basewoman. I think she was surprised. She was getting ready to tag her, and then all of a sudden, that was...
She was gone. She was already good. Wasn't even in strain. Look at her.
The reaction was kind of funny. You know, she looks over to third. She's like, wait, where is she? There she is, sliding into home. She slid there.
Steamers just took off thinking the play was probably either going to be from the center field or the shortstop fielder going to play to first. Had no business playing her and managed to score.
I was surprised too, but I think in the corner of her eye, she knew she wasn't going to get the player going to first. So she thought, well, I'll have a look. This girl looks like she's going to round third and we'll get her just off. I think she thought she was going to stop and go back.
I mean, to beat Japan, you do have to take a few chances like that, right? You need a few plays to go your way, and you need to be able to generate some offense as well. So I don't mind them taking a chance on being a little bit aggressive on the base pass, because Japan do that so well versus the Aussie spirit and every team they play, is they generate pressure on you and force you to make a decision you don't want to make. And that's exactly what Kylie Steamers did too. Maybe it can get a start, but it's going to be important for Kendra Lamb to consolidate with another 0 on the board.
I'd love to know what play was on there, you know, and what the coach was doing, because I didn't actually watch the coach. Did you?
No, she sits quite deep in the coach's box, and I can't really see her from my vantage point. Let's get back to the live action. Urara Fujimoto is the hitter up to bat. Kendra Lamb struck out the side last inning in a 1-2-3.
You talk about pressure that players put on an opponent, and that's what you want in world champion teams. You want pressure players, system breakers. Look how the infield has to play this player here in Fujimoto.
Yeah, Whitefield right up against the pitching circle. In fact, she's probably in front of it by the time Lamb releases the pitch. If we can get a view of that, that'd be terrific. (2-1) for Fujimoto.
Well, she's such an annoying hitter because she can put the ball down for a bunt, and she's so quick. And then you have to keep your outfield back because she can also hit.
There's the switch in the infield. Giros inside the line as well. Steam is the only infielder behind the bases. A base on ball, a lead-off walk. Kendra Lamb gave up a home run, the fourth batter of the inning in the first inning, and since then has struck out all but one batter, which was a base on balls.
And 2 walks, yeah.
That's her second walk since that home run. So
the Japanese haven't put a ball in play since that home run.
And only 2 hits. The first of those 2 hits was an RBI double to Mayu Okawa, who's in the batter's box right now.
Yeah, this is the danger part in the lineup, this 3-4. They went back-to-back jacks earlier in the week.
Sort of backs away, doesn't she, with that open stance, and falls away at the same time, but still manages to keep her shape and get plenty on the ball. This one's fouled off. No bunt, no steal with the speedy Fujimoto on first. Balls this one jammed a little and goes into the crowd.
I mean, the bunt is a great play, but these days we don't see it as often as we used to. It always used to be the fact that if you had a run on one, you just knew the next batter was going to bunt. Not anymore.
Miyu Goto is warming in the bullpen, by the way.
One-two count. Fujimoto getting a bigger than normal lead off, probably because she's protected by the left-handed batter. Titsa Cronus, though, right up in case she's needed. High hit ball.
Oh my goodness.
The right fielder takes the catch, Alyssa Mile, but Tamika Whitefield didn't take her eye off the ball. And there's a collision, but it's all smiles for the Aussie Spirit, and Fujimoto stays put at first.
She covers a lot of ground, Mile, to get to that ball. Oh, and takes Meek's legs out from underneath her in the meantime.
We have another look on the replay. Again, this is the outfield's ball all day long. Oh, yeah, lucky there's no damage as there's one out now, and the home run hitter, Yamauchi. To the plate, and they are persisting to throw inside to these 2 power lefties. Trying to jam them for room.
You can't miss against this batter.
4 home runs, 14 RBIs. She fouls that one off, goes for a walk. She's okay. Did she hit it into her own foot?
Well, when you think there's also the impetus for all of these players to get hits, because normally they get money every time they do. the bonuses.
Players,
Yes. Well, they definitely do in their company teams. I'm unsure what happens in their national team. I'm assuming they don't.
Is that as in just like a bonus? So you have your base contract and then a bonus for the home runs and everything you get?
Yep. Extra bases, RBIs, and for pitches, strikeouts.
Every good batters count. I'd be going 3-0 count. Pulls this one hard and nearly kills our cameraman.
She looks like she's got a good personality, doesn't she?
Look at the reaction she had, too.
Yeah.
Great reaction from Jay.
He took a great catch during the Gilly Shield as well.
And he just gave a little pump up to the crowd, and the crowd gave a little reception back to it.
2-2. Down and away for the strikeout. What a great comeback from Kendra.
Yes.
Adds to her tally to 6 strikeouts.
How about that? I mean, you jam her in, and then you just go away, and she just was kind of frozen by that too.
A great setup.
It is, and it's all about your eyes, isn't it? Where you are focused, is catching them off guard.
Kendra's last 9 batters has been 6 strikeouts, 2 walks, and a pop-up. Doesn't really reflect the scoreline as Tsukamoto pulls this into dead man's alley.
Foul.
That goes foul.
Well, it's 2
Here's
out.
a look. Take a look at this.
Oh, Jay.
And look at the reaction and the tip of the cap from Sayori Yamauchi. That might be the highlight of the tournament. That was an incredible reaction.
And just like a pro, he knew his job was to capture that reaction.
Wow. Yeah, he kept filming.
Yeah. Backs away like the Matrix. And another hard hit foul ball. Joyce, can you tell us, this many foul balls to the right side, they're not holding back, and there's no real adjustment either. They're just pulling and pulling and pulling. Is that until they get their pitch so they can drive it up the middle?
Yeah, well, they're taught to foul off anything they don't really want.
Okay. I've never been taught to foul off. It's always try and hit the ball up the middle, you know? Think of that. Takes off on the pitch. Oh, the batter gets in the way.
Ouch.
That's out.
Wow, what a crazy way to end the inning. Ball hitter in play. I don't know if there's going to be a conversation about this.
She had
There
her
is.
hands off her bat.
So the managers come out for a conversation with the umpire.
Oh, that was really unlucky for her. It wasn't like she intentionally did that either. She did it by accident.
She took a hand off the bat by accident as she backed away. Fujimoto took off on the pitch.
Wow. I've seen this.
Oh,
It's off her hand. She put her hand out.
Yes.
Off the bat, she put her hand up. That's not an accident.
And now the umpires are going to meet to discuss this in the middle. I've seen that. I've never seen that before.
I know in the past they used to put the whole bat up in front of you to try and stop you to be able to follow through when you threw to second base. It was something the Japanese used to do. But she didn't actually look like she meant to put a hand out on that throw. She wasn't looking at the throw. She wasn't looking at anything.
I think it is going to stand. Here's a look at the replay again. Here's the throw. She went to get out of the way, and it just hit her hand. And that is one strange way to end the inning. All right, we do have an interview standing by. Georgia Radjic down on the baseline.
That's right. I'm with the most internationally capped softballer of all time, Stacey Porter. Congratulations, Stacey. You were just inducted into the Softball Australia Hall of Fame. Must be a pretty special moment.
Yeah, definitely. It's nice to be here before the final. Big crowd with Justine and Chelsea. It was just a lovely day. My family and friends were around too, so it's just really nice to be here and celebrate, and then also watch some good softball.
Well, you're about to head into your 19th season over in Japan. I hear you're trying to aim for your 20th. Tell me a little bit about how that's been going for you.
Yeah, good. I guess I'm still going, so it's going well. And yes, definitely 20s on the cards. I did 20 for Australia and 20 for New South Wales, so 20 in Japan. So hoping to have another decent season so I can go one more.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for joining us here in the coverage. All the best.
Thank you.
What a warrior in the best to ever do it. A lot of people will tell you, and Stacey Porter, she is an incredible athlete.
World record holder for international caps. I was there. I interviewed her that day that she broke Natalie Ward's record, and she was breaking down underneath those dark glasses.
Well, a new picture that a lot of this capacity crowd would be anxious to see. A lot of people will be getting photos with this young lady in the circle after this game. You go to Japan's new number one. She rose to fame right around the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. She was just a 20-year-old at the time. She helped lead Japan to gold. She has won multiple championships with Toyota and the Red Terriers in her club competition. She's a lefty. She is the one. That is the number that she's got on her jersey, too. I'm not too sure. There's only a handful of pitchers and maybe only one or two that could even get in the conversation to say, hey, I'm at the same class as this woman and Miyu Goto right now in international softball.
Yeah, she broke into the scene straight out of an under-19 world. She dominated it and then bang, straight into the senior team. Olympic gold, world championship gold.
She's got sass. She struts, man, when she plays.
I love the energy.
Yep.
She's the best for Japan, is about to face the best for Australia. Here's Taylor Tsitsikronis.
So interesting hearing about Goto and her reactions to softball not being included in the 2024 Olympics, saying she started to suffer from a bit of a period of burnout. Obviously, it was such an intense period for her, and then sort of questioning where things were after it wasn't included. It's a familiar feeling for a lot of athletes.
Tsitsikronis pokes at one on the outside, and a great catch from Kudo. Full stretch. Decides not to dive as she's just behind her Kawa at first. Takes a nice catch.
But she holds that glove so steady. When she catches it, it's almost parallel to the ground the whole time. As she sticks it out, holds it there so it doesn't drop.
The middle infielders are just a level above for Japan.
Jenna Trim pulls this first pitch. Trapped by Yamauchi at third. Fires it across to Okawa for out number 2. 2 quick outs for the Aussies.
Corner infields are pretty good too.
They're all good.
Their outfielders are good.
And look, we haven't seen the errors that they were making in the past few days. The game's not finished yet. Australia still has time to put pressure on them in the hope that that will happen. But they're looking pretty relaxed and confident right now, Japan.
Alyssa Mile up to bat.
Goto just like jumps at you after she releases the pitch.
108 for Goto. I've got a feeling she's got a few more Ks up her sleeve. We're going to miss on the outside edge. Really winding down that clock as well.
Yeah, not only is she great at getting the edges and has a nice rise and a change-up, but she's left-handed, which adds to the difficulty of hitting her.
Power lefty in Goto.
And with that energy, she strikes out Alyssa Mile for her first strikeout of the game. The Australians' 6th strikeout.
Just impressive stuff from Miyu Goto, the Japanese #1. Fans all over the ballpark here at Brisbane Softball Association. It is a tremendous story of resilience for this ground, a ground that was underwater just a couple years ago because of the flood. Community rallied. They got this back up to level to host international events. Now you have the world #1 here, but it's a club that has existed since 1965. It's nice that 60 years, 61st year, they're hosting an event like this. They've hosted other big international events before, but yeah, it must be such a proud feeling for those in the Brisbane Softball Association community.
Yeah, and historically, it was a women's sport only venue put in by Ruby Robinson, who was a famous journalist, women's journalist back in the day.
There's a lot of neighboring sporting facilities. The hockey club is the one that they share probably the most with in terms of their field and their space. Yes. Take a look down the bullpen there, by the way. Steph Drzinski warming up. Kudo will lead things off this inning after a bizarre final out from Hikaru Tsukamoto. Got hit in the hand as they were throwing back, which means you're out. The only time I've seen something similar to that would have been in baseball in the 2015 divisional series. A catcher was throwing a ball back to the pitcher with the go-ahead run on third. It hit the back of the bat and worked back to the backstop. But Joyce, how many times as a catcher have you thrown the ball back to a pitcher in your entire career, and how many times has it hit the hand of the batter in the batter's box?
Oh, well, the point for that one is that there was a steal on and she was thrown to 2 to make an out, and that is an interference. But, you know, people can actually try and stop you from throwing, but it's illegal to actually block the catcher from making the throw.
The times I see it most often is when the runner is stealing from 2 to 3 and there's a right-handed batter in the box.
I think the hard part too is when your hand goes over the plate, because I think the mistake that girl made was her hand came down across. Even though she was trying to back away, her hand went down, and that's when it hit. So she was in the path of the actual throw. You could never see that again either.
It's just crazy.
Pulls this ball hard to the right side. Oh, Mile just gets a glove to it. It knocks Poe Pippa-Adkins, who was backing up. And Kudo is going to stand up at 3. A great attempt by Mile, but the leadoff on third for Japan.
And she didn't even get that whole ball then. She really hit under it quite a bit. Lovely attempt by Alyssa Mile.
Kind of unlucky that that ball doinked off of the center field wall and kind of gave him an extra base because of it.
Yes.
I'll check the official. It was an extraordinary effort, so I'm going to say it's a hit.
Has to be.
Yeah. I didn't even...
Oh, it just squeezes an inside out.
I didn't even flinch on that one.
Official is a hard fly ball for a triple. So great effort from Alyssa Mile at right field. It could not stop this Japanese machine. Shimoyama, the hitter. One of a couple of the right-handers in this lineup. Joyce, do they start out in their careers as left-handers, or do they learn to bat left-handed?
They learn to bat left-handed because it's an advantage. So many of them are right-handed throw, left-handed bat. They know that there's an advantage. So probably when I played, you had about half the team. Now it's nearly the full team. Is there a message there to us?
It's interesting culturally how that happens. Canada, another nation that's known for having a lot of left-handed hitters in general, and that comes from Canadians shooting left a lot in ice hockey. So then it makes sense, you know, when you're swinging, it's a completely different path. I get that, but you're just sort of comfortable on one side of the stick like you would be the plate. I wonder if there's another thing in there too.
Pulls this one hard to the left side, and Amber Hood's going to be happy to let that one go foul with a runner in scoring position. 2-2. Shimoyama, I'd never considered that. The left-handed hockey players.
Yeah. Every country seems to have their quirks, don't they? I find that upright batting stance that Joyce has pointed out so fascinating.
And then,
catching the outside edge for a strikeout looking. That's Shimoyama's second strikeout looking for the game, and Kendra Lamb's 7th strikeout.
I think when the US were here and Coach Gasso was talking, she was saying that they actually put them on pressure plates and trialed them in different batting positions to see where they get the most power from a more kneeling position or a more standing up position, so it becomes a lot more scientific.
It's crazy how the sports have advanced like that in terms of being able to measure scientifically all of that too.
Jocelyn Arlo has the NCAA Division I record for career home runs. She was crouched down low in the right-handed batter's box.
Yeah, and I think what Coach Gasso is doing from USA makes a lot of sense of finding the best way for each hitter. In fact, she changed one hitter over who was a slap hitter into a power hitter because of it.
Was that Anna Gold for the US team?
Oh, you've got a much better memory than me.
It wasn't Anna Gold. Who
Again
was
with
it?
S.
Sienna.
That's fascinating.
Oh,
He has to know now.
yeah, I have to know now.
There's a swing that's popped up into foul territory from Natsumi Fujimori. There's with Sun Diva. Home of the #1 bus in all of Japan in the professional league.
Oh, Toyota Shoki. That's how I know them. And they do. It's like an aeroplane.
Spaceship, aeroplane, UFO.
So it just made us realise what a horrible bus we had.
What'd you have?
For our, just a normal bus.
It's crazy. I mean, the fact that you have the team buses, the professional facilities, everything about it.
Sierra Sacco, the USA hitter that has gone into the Pro League and turned into a powerhouse.
That's it.
It's amazing. You didn't even look that up. You just remembered that. Just some deep thinking.
I did look that up, but I knew that it was Sierra. Fujimori is the batter in the box. Has a strikeout in this game, and the count is even at 2-2.
Fujimori is an unbelievable right fielder as well.
Defense right in for the Aussies. A little slap hit through the gap is going to score a run. And Fujimori, you can't keep a good batter down, is pumped over at first.
And that's great hitting. She didn't try and hit that ball hard. She just wanted to score that run, and that was perfect.
You're right. She didn't try to hit the ball hard. She tried to hit the ball through.
Yes.
Just try to get it through a window, and that's the danger of bringing the fielders in. You have to do it.
And when she actually did it, she did this little hop to stay on top of the ball, so the ball went into the ground.
Yeah, pumped. And I mean, yeah, sure, you got an RBI in the final, but she's hitting all right, 308 with a 500 on base average.
By any means necessary.
Well, we will play out 7 inning. The WBSC rules state that there's no run rule in a grand final of a series. Saw that at the World Games last year in China when Japan won the bronze medal game. They were up 10-0 in the 4th inning and ended up winning at 11-1.
Well, that was lucky for the other team.
After a heartbreaking loss in the
semi. USA World Cup, World Games winners. That was Paddy Gasso's first appointment to Team USA.
Can coach.
Yumi Kuriji is the hitter, the 9 hitter. Takes off on the pitch. Whitefield's there to field it, but it gets to centre field. The runner, Fujimori, was getting dirty. She slid into 2. Let's have a look on the replay.
Well, as the catcher threw over there, did you see what the batter did? Like, it's interesting because the other girl dropped her hand out. Her girl dropped her hand down. I really still think it was an accident, what happened the last time.
I think so too.
Yeah.
You guys are very fair calling, but what I saw in the replay when the batter was called out for interference was that she looked down at the catcher as she let go of the bat and the hand went up. Anyway, 2 against 1. I'll go with your call as Kendra Lamb's day is done. She threw to 18 batters.
Look, I believe in anything. The Japanese will do almost anything to win. And I know once upon a time they used to do, with a runner on 3 and 2, they would lead off and then the runner going from 2 to 3 would fall over And most catches threw back to 2 and the girl would just run home. They would draw the mistake.
My apologies for cutting you off there, Joyce. Was that a walk? Because, yeah, it was a walk. So the runner didn't have to go.
Well, the runner left before.
Runner took off on the pitch. And
That's right.
Well, it will be a pitching change. In comes Steph Trzynski. She has been very good all week long. And pitched some lengthy innings, didn't she, against Japan, and then had to come in and back it up versus New Zealand, a New Zealand team that gave Australia a bit of a ride in the last game. Entered the day with a 0 ERA. Trzynski has been so good all week long, very consistent, was so close to getting through that last game before Japan got a couple runs off of her with 2 outs. But pretty admirable performance from Trzynski this week.
Yeah, she's been amazing.
don't ask me about Steph. Every time I talk her up, something happens. And
well, I'll talk her up then. She has been amazing. But right now is when Australia really need her to hit form. We need to shut down these Japanese hitters now. They're dangerous. Runners on 1 and 2.
The change also came because it's the third time through the lineup now. Just wanted to protect Kendra Lamb from it. But Kendra Lamb, by the way, I mean, Japan had just struck out 14 times before this game. Finishes with 7.
Oh, that is excellent, really.
7 Ks, 4 walks, 4 hits.
And really, since that home run, she was almost untouchable, right? Not a lot of balls put in play. In fact, just 2 balls put in play.
Both this inning. Trzynski starts off well with a ground out to second base. There's now 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Whitefield makes a good play up the middle. The 2 runners advance.
Japanese look like they're having fun, don't they?
I was going to say exactly the same thing. I was going to say they look like they're having too much fun.
Well, I mean, there's a scale there, I guess.
With 2 out, the courtesy runner is Ishikawa, who's going to replace Yumi Kurishi, who got on base from a base on balls. Let's quickly review this inning. Japan were leading it 3-0, and Kanakudo leads off with a triple. Shimoyama is struck out, and then Fujimori just guides that ball through the 3-4 hole. An RBI single for her. Advanced on the walk from Kurishi, and then a ground out for Ishikawa. 1 run has scored, so Japan now 4-1 leaders.
And your favourite player is up?
Fujimoto. I'm not saying she's my favourite player. I'm suggesting that she's a very good player. Okawa has also caught my eye.
Don't worry, I ended up with a favorite too, that Joyce pointed out in the New Zealand game. Danica Fariso, shout out to you.
Such a great player. Sharp in the field. Lace Tangiano led the New Zealand batting averages. High ball deep to centre field. Pippa Adkins didn't really have to move. She sort of shifted. She stepped back and took a good catch then.
Atkins makes sure that no more is added on. Well, let's head to our next sideline interview. Georgie Radjic, who you got?
I'm here with Dr. Lara Andrews from the New Zealand team. Lara, it's been a great tournament for you guys. Tell me a little bit about what your experience has been like here in Brisbane.
Oh, we've been very welcomed here from Queensland Softball, and we're really grateful for their support. We had a pre-game scrimmage before this tournament, and then we've come straight into playing 8 games, and we're just really grateful and thankful for the opportunity to be out here to compete with world #1 and Australia, who's rising in the rankings.
Of course, you guys will be heading off not too distant future for your qualifiers as well. Tell me a little bit, how important are these games in your preparation to qualify for the World Cup next year?
Oh, this is essential for our build-up. This is a great opportunity to expose all of our players to high-level softball softball. We've got a national tournament in 2 weeks, and then we name the team to prepare for our World Cup qualifier.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for joining me.
Georgie, I don't know if you can still keep Dr. Laura Andrews there too. If you can, I just got to know if Danica Fariso is as cool in person as she looks in the field. She's become a fan favorite. I don't know if you still have her there.
Well, I've had a question. Is Danica Fariso as cool off the field as she is on the field?
Hey, look, Danny and I have been playing together since 2010 for the New Zealand Women's White Sox, and love playing with her. She's awesome and a really, really good family friend.
Well, there's your answer for you, Eric.
I accept. Thank you very much, Georgia.
Georgia's earrings as well, a gift from the New Zealand team.
I know, we didn't all get
Beautiful.
a pair.
No, I didn't get a pair of earrings from New Zealand. Pippa Adkins takes a great catch to end the last innings and a ripper of a shot to the left side to lead off the top of the fifth.
One pitch, one hit, love it. Very, very aggressive, Pippa Adkins.
Yep, she's had a tournament, Pippa Adkins. Enjoying her softball, you can tell that. Here's Amber Hood.
Amber had a beautiful hit last turn at bat.
Pippa and Amber were teammates for a season at the Hills Heat. And Amber and Georgia's mother, Tanya, coached the side, and before Pippa made the move up to Queensland, and Amber made the move to the West Torrens Eagles. Teammates in 2022, the Gillies Shield champions. Teammates today with the Aussie Spirit.
This is the South Aussie second half, isn't it? Of this lineup. The Southern second half, you've got Kylie Steamers as well.
Southern, yeah, started in Victoria, Waverley. To everyone watching at the Waverley Association, put on a good event. The Gillies Shield as this one sort of dribbles to third, and a nice play from Yamauchi. Atkins advances to 2.
Well, that's just as good as the bunt to get your runner through to second base. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, the Aussies have to chip away, don't they? They're starting to run out of outs. We're in the 5th inning, and they need to peg another 1 or 2 back, you'd think, here.
Yamauchi does a great job, and that's how she gets rid of it so quick. She just jumps in the air and tosses it. No steps. Still makes the out easily.
First pitch swinging for Steamers. There's Yamauchi again, but holds Pippa Adkins at bay. 2 out now.
Yeah, she can play. Yamauchi, obviously, the sort of decisive 2-run home run earlier. Just looks so confident out there.
Chelsea Robinson.
Another one of the new mums in this Aussie team. 17, 18 months, 19 months maybe, Arlo is. He's come back with super strength.
All these ladies keeping the future of softball going. Hopefully all their kids will play softball just like yours.
Well, the new mums in the South Australian program, Belle White, Jordan Harris, Johanna Grauer, Chelsea Robinson. All of them with girls.
Oh, really?
Joyce is already starting the scouting. She'll be in Adelaide next week to run a combine.
Oh, look, I couldn't even say the names of so many children in the softball ranks in Queensland at the moment. There are a whole lot of them here today. It's like a creche.
Justine Smethurst, a boy.
Yeah. Jess Torpy. She's got boys.
She does have boys.
And apologies if I've forgotten anyone. I'm sure I have. Hard hit shot, but it's straight into the ground, making it relatively easy for Kudo to retire the Aussies after Pippa Adkins led off with a single. It's 4-1.
Look, in the past games, we've seen that Australia have been able to come back and keep chasing the Japanese team. We do need to put more pressure on them, though. We need more hard-hit balls, just like Pippa Adkins just did. That was awesome. We've had a few. Amber, Hood. We just need all those players who are on form to start putting bat on ball and finding some gaps.
3 hits for the Aussies in the first 5 innings. Tamika Whitefield with the RBI. Amber, Hood and Pippa Adkins, the 3 with the hits. There's a few Hall of Famers sharing a drink.
A few Olympic medals in there as well. Great to see just so many different people from the community come out there and cheer on the spirit, make signs, wear color. Yeah, it's been a fun few days. A lot of cross-section too. There's a few baseballers that came out to support as well.
Yes, and I have some people from home, from Cairns, who've come down
that's awesome.
to watch. They love the game.
I think there's a few of the under-23 men's in town as well.
For the softball?
Just saw Joel Goodall, who will be one of the coaches for the Victorian team. I saw Brian Edwards and Helen Edwards in the crowd, world champions with the Steelers. That tournament starts on Tuesday here in Brisbane.
Oh, Kawa hit and off she goes to first base.
Hit by pitch, on the upper thigh. Well, a free base for Japan. They made them pay in the first when they led the inning off with a walk. Was scored off a double from Okawa, who is the leader for this inning.
And now Sayori Yamauchi has a chance to almost put this game to bed. She was the one that tucked Australia in back in the first inning with a 2-run shot. Trying to kiss him goodnight. She is as impactful as you like.
Likes the high ones, and Trzynski's a rise ball pitcher. She will fancy herself with this matchup. And she hits one from the outside of the plate. Giros takes a great diving catch, back with the flight of the ball into the grass. So, perhaps in the back of her mind that the Aussie outfield coming in.
That was awesome, because when you look at the distance between the outfield with this batter and the shortstop, Giros has to cover so much ground.
Track that too. Her eyes were on that the whole way, and even when it hit her glove, just that perfect little snap.
Yeah, put a hand over the top to make sure.
Tsukamoto, the new hitter. What was also, fouls this one off, what was also impressive for Giros is that she had to get back up straight away because that runner was poised and waiting on one, did not advance.
I'll tell you what, Maya Giros is having one heck of an audition for a middle infield spot.
She is.
In the Aussie spirit. She has hit the ball well and fielded the ball well.
Tsukamoto was the batter called out for interference when her hand accidentally got in the way of Taylor Titchakronis throwing the ball over at the attempted steal back in the third inning.
Well, let's keep an eye on it again. Same situation.
Pitch out. Okawa doesn't have a stolen base, one of a few Japanese that don't. She was caught stealing, perhaps a victim to Chelsea Robinson when she had a game behind the plate. Swing and a miss on a high pitch. She will go down swinging. 2 strikeouts in the game for Tsukamoto. That's Steph Trzynski's first.
Wow, Wow, that was a high pitch. Beautiful rise on that.
The runner did steal, took a base, Okawa, so she has her first stolen base.
If you're going to pitch high, don't miss, right? Don't let it drop a little lower. If you're going to miss, go higher than high. And that was high, and there's no way. I mean, there's no way she could have drove that. Swung, good pitch.
Kudo has a walk and a triple in this game.
That's why she's won an MVP with Big Camera.
High and fouled. Producer Brandon, every time that ball hits the tin roof, he hits a little bit of a shudder. Doesn't have the protection of the Gillian Williams Pavilion.
He's not on that anyways. He's not invited. He's under the marquee.
That's just an inside joke, Joyce. I shouldn't tell inside jokes, should I? You'll have to watch the Sopola Say Premier League Wednesday nights. Steph Trzynski continues. She's ahead of the count. 0-2 on Kudo. A runner on 2 is Okawa. It's a 1-2 count. Producer Brandon right on me there. High for ball 2. Bottom of the 5th. The Aussies running out of time. They need to get out of this inning. 2-2 count, 2 out, runner on 2 with 2 innings left. Oh. Nice piece, well taken at 2 by Tamika Whitefield. To retire the side, Steph Trzynski, serviceable here.
Yeah, that was excellent. I think there she gets that ball quite well. That goes straight to the player, Tamika Whitefield. And that was a better innings, even though we still had the lead-off runner getting on with a hit by a pitch ball. Australia were able to keep Japan scoreless. But we really need to get out and hit this pitch up. Goto is such a great competitor. We have hit her in past games. We've shown that we can get lots of safe hits off her. So Australia will need to be doing that right now. They only have 2 more chances of doing that.
And it's the time to do it, right? You have Whitefield, Giros at the top of the lineup, but those 2 big boppers in the middle of the lineup, and Taylor Tsitsikronis and Jenna Trim, they can hit her over the fence. Jenna Trim has done exactly that. I think it's just so important that Australia gets one of these first 2 aboard so you can try to manufacture something for Taylor Tsitsikronis or Jenna Trim to really try to drive.
Yes, I think this game is the least amount of hits we've had for quite a while. I'm hoping that they're actually leaving it till the end of the game to sort of string some hits together, and hopefully it'll be Tamika Whitefield who starts it off.
Back-to-back hits have been hard to come by for Australia. You're absolutely right, Joyce. In fact, no back-to-back base runners for Australia this game at all. It's been Sakamoto excellent into Miyu Goto.
Goto continues her work. 2 innings pitched, 7 batters faced. Only the 1 strikeout, and Australia also has 1 hit, but she's been getting ground balls to her field.
Change up. Lovely pitch.
Goto just moved clubs as well in Japan. Move that's made a lot of headlines after winning 3 championships in a row.
Well, you would move when you have a lot of American pitchers playing in your team and then you're not getting the lead pitcher. So that's what she did. She moved from Toyota and went to Toda Hospital, or Toda Medic.
Hard hit ball from Whitefield goes foul. And Goto was hunched over after the pitch prior to that one, and And then on this one, it looked like she's just stretching her right leg out just a little bit. Whitefield calls for time. Maybe a bit of dust in the eye, but we did hear that Goto wasn't 100% fit. She had an issue with a heel.
Yes, she was icing it during the week.
And Goto just a little concerned about her landing spot, I think. And she goes 2-2. Nice hard hit shot goes foul. And Whitefield battling, trying to keep her team in the game. Chasing 3. The last 2 games against these 2 teams have been decided by a run. 7-4 on day 1, 5-0 on day 2. 4-1 as we speak, as Whitefield fouls off another.
Excellent lead-off hitting by Tamika Whitefield, making Goto throw pitches, and lots of them.
It's about 7 pitch at bat at the moment.
Even just for Giros, just to see them all standing in the box. Little wins.
Pitch number 8. Ground ball to 2. Kudo just lets it get under the glove. It was a slow roller. She was in 2 minds to charge, to wait. Whitefield's pressure as she hustles down the line was enough.
Well, she lifts the glove up. It's almost like she's guessing when the ball's going to go into a glove.
Just
Slaps that hand. Yeah, I think she, guessed when it was, put a hand over and totally misjudged it.
Pressure players, right? Like
yeah.
Causing some chaos.
By Giros.
I don't know how aggressive you really need to be, though, with Whitefield on the base pass here. I mean, Australia need 4 runs to take the lead. Whitefield's going to score because Giros, Titsakronis, and Trim do a good job batting, not because it's a close game and Whitefield needs to take this base.
Leadoff's on. Goto just took a little bit of extra time to toe up to the plate. That's an old saying, toe up. You don't need to do that anymore.
No.
Or the ball just a little loose.
It's very difficult when you're bunting. I know I have had this discussion with Coach Porter a few times, and I know that the high ball is hard to bunt, but that outside ball that's a long way away from you is also difficult.
What's Goto asking for?
So the shot clock, the pitch clock got down under 10, and Giros was not in the batter's box. I don't think that was her fault, because the third base had to field a loose ball. The shot clock had already started. I think the umpires may have missed this, but Travers, by the letter of the law, the batter needs to be in the box within 10 seconds. But the pitcher didn't have the ball.
So
the ball was loose.
Goes down as a strike, and
yeah,
therefore it's a strike out because it was their 3rd strike.
You watch that back. The third base had to fetch a ball that was loose out of the circle. I think the clock started right there, and the clock's already down 17, 16 seconds in the background. That's a missed.
That's unlucky.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
It's a strikeout. We've got a runner on Tala Titsakronis in the box. Hard hit shot straight back up the middle.
Okay, now you've got the tying run at the plate, and it's someone who's taken Goto deep already this week. You asked for this, Joyce.
I did. I want this. And now look, we've got 2 runners on base. If you were to get a home run, now's the time. That equalises the game. I'm going to put my positive thoughts emanating out onto the field.
Pinch runner, this is how important it is. With 1 out, they bring Sarah Rio on for Taylor Tsitsikronis. The catcher will get a courtesy runner on the next out if required. But they're banking on Jenna Trim to put this ball into play. Sarah Rio enters. Jenna Trim hits 1 every 3. She's hitless in this game for her 3rd plate appearance.
Corners are peeled in.
They're really working the outside of the plate. Australia really need to keep off that pitch if it's even slightly off.
Trim chasing, and Joyce, I think a little bit is also Japan being careful with Trim. They know her power. 12 RBIs in this tournament. If they hang one over the plate, they know it's going.
Yes, and there's that message we were saying about being patient when you're batting well. You really need to pick the balls and strikes even better because they're not going to throw you any strikes at all. Trim, that was much better, staying off that pitch.
2-1. Good pitch from Goto, staying on that outside edge. Two.
Oh, wow.
Strikeout looking, catches that outside edge yet again. Maybe a change of pace as well for Goto.
Yeah, she doesn't work the same pace all the time, and that's the one thing. She's very similar to Waino. She has a fast pitch, she has a slow, and then she has a really slow pitch. So that off-speed pitch can really make it miss time for the hitter.
That reaction was something too from Goto.
Melissa Mile, swing and a miss.
We're really working that down, droppy, outside pitch.
Mile looks so relaxed.
Yeah, absolutely does. The whole tone of the team all week. Oh, just tries to cut her in half.
Goto says, yeah, you may look relaxed, but too relaxed for my liking. Here you go.
And Sarah Rio on the bases, on first. Whitefield poised on 2. Just rails the line, and Maya will be retired. So Japan end the Aussie threat after a little bit of luck.
Well, it is a 3-run game, getting a little bit late. Let's go over to Georgia Rajic. Georgia, you there?
Sarah, it has been a brilliant summer of softball here, really predominantly in Queensland, because there's a very special event that's going to be hosted here next year.
14 months away, and we're at 2027 Women's Softball World Cup, so super wrapped about the 4 international countries that have come out in 3 months.
And tell me a little bit about the preparation so far. It's been great to see so many international sides. And, of course, if you want to be the world's best, you've got to play against the world's best. We're seeing that right now in this very game. Any more exciting plans in the future, potentially?
Well, we started with Chinese Taipei, number 5 in the world. We beat them. Number 2 in the world, USA, last month. They beat us. But it's not over yet. We're about to hopefully beat the number 1 team, Japan. And, yeah, lots more to come.
Well, thank you so much for joining me. All the best, and I'll take it back to the commentary booth.
Well, Australia will certainly have to hold with only 3 outs to play with. A very pivotal inning coming up here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Eric Ballner, James Harris, Joyce Lester, all in the booth calling the action for you. But how good was Miyu Goto at the end of that inning. It's almost like when the moment gets a little more difficult, couple base runners, people there, she just sort of buckles up a little bit and just dials it up another notch.
Yes, I really think she pitched great, but I do also think the Aussies, and what they've done well all week is stay off the bad pitches, and we've seen it now just creeping back into the game that we're really having a go at pitches that aren't quite on the plate. And of course Goto can take advantage of that by just keeping it out there if we're going to swing at it. So we really need to have more patience, be more selective.
Eri Shimoyama grooves one out to the right side for her first base hit of the game. Eric, you mentioned Australia down to their last 3 outs. Well, Japan looking to put an insurance run on the board.
Yeah, the leadoff runner will help, and there's been a lot of traffic for the Japanese players. Only one player hasn't reached base in the starting 9. It sort of felt like a high traffic series through all the teams, to be honest, in terms of base runners.
Yeah, high amount of base runners. That player there, Taylor Titsakronis, was re-entered into the game. A timeout's called. A courtesy runner or a pinch runner. Number 5, Risa Kawamura comes in. It's a pinch run. So Japan may be opting for a little more speed.
So was it not a courtesy runner in the last inning because it was a runner on first and second with 1 out, meaning that one pitch would have been a double play? So then you have to get the catcher speed up in because of that?
Nope, pinch runner has to be with 2 out.
Or what do you mean?
There
Courtesy
has to
runner?
be 2 out to be a courtesy runner.
Well, that's what happened last inning. There was 1 out, and Taylor Titsakronis got taken out of the game.
That's right, so it was a pinch runner.
Yeah.
And then a re-entry for Taylor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fujimori, the hitter in the box. Ground ball to Whitefield. Tag, plays 1. Double play.
That was absolutely perfect. She just tagged that girl as she went past very quickly. Absolutely perfect from Tamika Whitefield. Makes 2 outs out of 1. Just what Australia need. Oh, excellent.
And if it wasn't out on the tag, it probably would have been out for running off the line.
Yes.
2 quick outs for the Aussies. Yumi Karishi's the 9 hitter.
And that looks better now, that hit not counting. Well done, Australia.
Wipe it away.
Hop up. Robinson will see that over the fence. Bottom of the 6th inning, there's 2 out. The 9 hitter in the box. And Japan lead this 4-1. Brzezinski tries off speed and in the dirt. Pippa Atkins, the 6-hitter, due up for the Aussie Spirit next inning. They'll be down to their last 3 outs, the Aussies. Straight back in there for a strike for Steph Brzezinski. 2-2, 2 out.
But it was looking like she thought she should have swung at that last one. Brzezinski has been so impressive this tournament. She really has. You know, she might have had a couple of innings around the times that weren't as great, but mostly she has been so consistent, and her pitches have really been effective against the Japanese.
Yeah. Steph Brzezinski has put quite a career together as the Japanese coach. Had to evade a foul ball there. A season in the Netherlands, a season in Italy, a 4-year career in college, couple of junior women's worlds, including a bronze. Dominant player in the Softball SA Premier League. She's been there and she's done it all, in and out of the Aussie squad, and gets a strikeout to end the sixth. Steph Krasinski pitched to 9 and allowed 2 base runners in the last 3 innings of work.
She has kept Australia in the game. Japan scored 3 runs in the first inning. The home run from Sayori Yamauchi ends up being the big difference-making swing. I'm not amazing at math, but 4 minus 1 is 3, and if Japan scored 3 in the first inning, well, that might be the defining moment of the game. But Australia has scored runs in bunches versus Japan already, and they've done it against Miyu Goto, who they'll have to go through again if they want to come back. Australia scored their 1 run in the third, and in that inning, Kylie Steamers scored the run. Amber Hood was at the plate. They're both due up in this inning. Pippa Adkins leading off the inning. She's got a hit as well. It's an opportunity for Australia, who hung in tough with the world number 1, but learning some lessons on the way. Perhaps tonight, because you got to start on time.
Nervous. I don't know what to say, Joyce. We saw Japan put 5 on to take the lead in the 7th just 2 games ago and break the hearts of the Aussies.
Well, at least this time they came out early and put the pressure on, and it was sort of like an opposite to what's been happening the whole time in this tournament, in this grand final. And we were a little bit unsteady in our fielding in those first couple of innings, which was a bit of a shame. If we could have held that together, this would be a different ball game.
The pieces are there, aren't they?
Yeah.
First pitch swinging for Pippa Adkins, and she grounds out to Okawa at first. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Did the same last turn at bat, but got a hit from it.
Trapped it well, and the Japanese first basers don't generally use the mitts, do they? They use a glove, a fielding glove. No answer?
Excuse me,
That's
I've never really noticed. I've got a croaky throat.
Running bunt attempt from Amber Hood.
Sneaky.
Australia trying anything to get a runner on base. She's already had 1 hit. She can get another one.
She's had 5 hits in 5 games, Amber Hood.
And a diving catch.
She's had a hit in each of her 5 games, the last 5 games. Inside to go 1-1. Pulls this to short. Ishikawa careful and fires it up the first baseline. Amber Hood out by a toe.
Yes, and it's sort of textbook, isn't it, the way they pick it up and just make a beautiful throw across. They get right in behind. Their footwork is always perfect. She had heaps of time, not really, but she made it look like she had heaps of time.
It's amazing how slow she makes it look in what is really a bang-bang play.
Yeah.
Kylie Steamers is Australia's last chance. They need to score 3 to make Japan bat again, and they need to do it with 2 out.
So Goto's pitched very well. She's pitched tight. She's really worked the outside corner against the Australian hitters.
Hits it again in relief for Miyu Sakamoto, who through the first 3 innings gave up an earned run in the third. Goto came in relief from the fourth inning and has given up just the 2 hits to deny Australia and to lead her team. Australia down to their last strike. Steamers gets a little bit of bat on the ball. It goes up the middle, but Ishikawa fires across to Okawa for the third out and the win. Softball Australia Cup champions 2026, Japan.
Wow, and that was very unfortunate for the Australian team. Not quite how they wanted it. We kept getting closer and closer to the Japanese team. And when you think I travelled with Australia just at the end of last year to Japan to play them, and there is nothing the same. We have improved so much. I look at this Aussie team and I feel so proud of what they've done between that time and now. And I'm sure Utsugi, the Japanese coach, must think, oh my goodness, is this actually the same team that came to Japan? Because I have to say she had to make changes there because she was worried that Australia would come back. That's why Goto came on.
Yeah, absolutely. A amateur team against a professional team, and the fight of this Aussie Spirit team took it to Japan as they show their appreciation to the crowd.
Yes, I think we've had some great performances by a lot of Aussies. We've seen them hit more consistently than we have in other tournaments for quite a while. And a lot of new players who've come in cemented themselves into the top 9 for this tournament. It was so well done. They should all feel so proud of themselves.
There is the #1 team in the world, and the crowd showing their appreciation too. They were the best team all week. They didn't lose a game, and even when it looked like they did, they just found a way to win. They are remarkable and showing what you have to get to be world #1, and giving some hope that maybe Australia is not as far off as maybe people thought they may have been after the last series too.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure, like at the end of last series, Utsugi, I think, probably some of the scores were devastating for Australia. But, you know, and I think of what's happened between then and where we've come to now, and everyone has a whole different view of Australia. Really, on a good day, Australia could beat anyone. But, you know, we've got a little bit of work to do, well, lots of work to do, to be as good as we can going into next year and the World Cup.
Well, Australia, the positives for this tournament, firstly, they scored a run. Now, they did that in the first game. They won the 4 games against New Zealand. That's a positive right there.
Yeah.
This series showed that there's some depth throughout Australia because there were some new players in, and, you know, Steph Trzynski gets a chance, and she performed very well in each of the games that she played in. Kavanagh unearthed a young pitcher. You know, Giros and Bastian, there's some young players that are coming into the team. Amber Hood and Chelsea Robinson, some mature first-year players who got their chance at juniors, and now they finally got a chance in the senior team. So there's some depth in this lineup. The lowest score that Japan had in this series was in the grand final, 4-1. They scored 5 or more in each and every other game that they played in this series. Another positive for the Aussies, and they took it to them.
That's a great point, actually, about the number of runs scored. They are a hitting team and a great hitting team, and so are the US. And if you can keep them down, but more so for Australia, be able to come back at the best players and be batting against the best pitchers in the world, that means everything. I think they must be very, very confident.
Well, we're going to go down on the field with a rock star and Miyu Goto.
That's right, here with Miyu Goto. Congratulations, a great win, and finishing the game with a strikeout that had to feel really good.
おめでとうございます。本当に素晴らしい終わり方だったと思うんですけども、どういうふうに感じてますか？
そうですね。優勝できたことが、チームで優勝できたことがすごく嬉しいです。
So first of all, I'm so happy about that we won the competition. Yeah.
Well, great win across the board, undefeated across the competition. Was that really one of the part of the aims for this whole week?
Sorry, say again?
Was that one of the aims for the whole week to go through undefeated?
そう今今週ねこの大会で全てを過ごしてこの大会が終わりましたけれども、どういうふうに感じてますか？
そうですね、ハードなスケジュールの中チーム全員で全試合勝ち切れたってことがすごく、チームの成果になったので良かったと思います。
So between really tight schedule, but we won the all games. That's the really good result we had.
Brilliant! Congratulations! Go celebrate the win with your teammates.
本当におめでとうございます。チームの皆さんと喜びを分かち合ってください。
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Mio Goto, just an absolute rock star of the game, and still more coaching and opportunities it kind of looks like on the field with all of these players as well. They looked like they had a lot of fun as it went down as well.
Yes, and there you see Utsugi, and I'm guessing that is one of the Japanese administrators there congratulating the team, which is, look, being undefeated is amazing, but I'm just so glad that Australia were nipping at their heels the whole time. Unfortunately, not in the grand final, but still, as you said, only 4 runs, and that's pretty good against one of the best teams in the world.
They are celebrating for a victory photo, and presentations will come shortly, but hustling out on the field is Tamika Whitefield, I think, down there with Georgie Radjic. Let's go down to Georgie now.
That's right, here with Tamika Whitefield. Again, a really strong showing across the full series, especially coming off the back of that USA one. You could see the work in action, how hard the fight was to the very end. Do you take some of those positives knowing that you can really bring it against the world's best?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've put up some really good fights this week, but we're not satisfied. There's much more that we can do, and we just want to keep improving so that, the games go the other way for us.
And of course, World Cup qualifiers coming up in Czechia. How do you take some of the learnings from this experience? A lot of debutants, a lot of rotations in the squad across the series, a full summer of softball in action, of course, with including the Gilly Shield. Do you take more satisfaction in knowing that there is that squad depth at the Spirit level too?
100%. I think a big comment we've made this week is the depth and how exciting that is and what we can really do with that. So I'm really excited for this group moving forward, those that go away and those that keep working behind the scenes, because we're in a really good spot and we've just got more work to do.
And of course, all roads lead back here to Queensland next year for the World Cup. Is it nice to be playing regularly on home soil as we have seen this summer too?
Yeah, it's actually amazing. We haven't had this opportunity before, and it just shows the more we get to play, the more international games we get, the better we become. So I'm really excited for what Softball Australia's planned, and the more games on home soil is going to be really good for us.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for joining me, Tamika.
Yeah, great stuff, Georgia, and really looking forward to that World Cup group stage in Czechia that they'll go and play in later, and that is a softball mad country as well. Those when they host international events in Czechia for softball or baseball, the community rallies behind it. It gets on national TV as well. That'll be another way of trying to perfect their craft before the World Cup that they will qualify for. It's some positive signs for sure, Joyce.
Oh, look, it definitely is. And, when you see Tamika Whitefield and see how much she's grown as a player, and she's become a leader of the team, and she's so disciplined now and really expects so much of her fellow players. She really is trying to raise the standard and pushing her other players to be better, and that is so important. And she is right. There is so much more depth, and it's going to be a challenge now for people and more competition to be able to make that Australian team, and that can only make them better.
Is a good thing. And Georgia now down on the field. I think she will administer the post-game presentation, and that is pretty soon where we will leave you as the players get set and on the baseline.
And she's with Moi Kurihara, who's the one of the Japanese interpreters for us.
And a pretty good softball player herself.
And she is.
Haida Harari as well. I'm sure she's watching.
Yes, I'm sure she is.
Big shout out to everybody who has made this event possible A lot of volunteers, a lot of people giving up a lot of time for the summer of softball in Australia.
Brisbane Softball Association have been great hosts.
They have. It's been an excellent event and has finished beautifully. And there's been some really amazing games over this last 4 days.
I want to see that highlight reel pack that you called for, Joyce, of all the defensive plays, anything from home runs being robbed to Hollywood double play balls to, 11 plays from Danica Fariso and, all those middle moments in between.
Absolutely. I can't wait either.
New Zealand joining the two finalists on the field as well. There'll be a presentation to the winning team as well as a tournament most valuable player. And who are you going to go for? Maybe Okawa, who led all offensive categories for the Japanese, or maybe Sakamoto, who didn't give up an earned run.
Wow, that's amazing.
Fujimoto, who was terrific, the pocket rocket. Or maybe someone from Australia.
Yeah, I think it's got to be Saori Yamauchi, who hit 4 home runs and also led the tournament in RBIs, including hitting the decisive home run in the final. That would be my pick for Yamauchi. And we're just about ready to head down to the field with Georgia to administer the post-game ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen,
there we go. Down to you, Georgia.
We have witnessed. On behalf of Softball Australia, we now begin our official post-game presentation. To begin, I'd like to acknowledge the Turrbal people, the traditional owners of the land and winds and waters we call Brisbane. I extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people joining us today. We thank all three teams for the spirit and intensity that they've brought over the field over the past 4 days. We have also loved being back on your screens, bringing every pitch, every play, and every moment to life. And if you're new to the sport, we hope this has been the perfect introduction to just how fast and exciting softball is. We also like to...
本当に素晴らしい試合でした。これより閉会式を執り行います。はじめに私たちがブリスベンと呼ぶこの地の土地、風、そして水の伝統的な所有者のであるターバルの族の皆様に心から敬意を表します。また本日ご参加のすべてのアボリジナルおよびトレス海峡ショート民の皆様にも深い敬意を表します。この4日間フィールドを情熱と激しい競争心をもたらしてくれた3チームのすべてに心より感謝を申し上げます。そして再び皆様にスクリーンを通し、すべての投球、すべてのプレー、そしてすべての瞬間をお届けできたことを私たちは本当に嬉しいと思います。また今日初めてソフトボールをご覧になった皆様、このスポーツのスピード感と迫力を感じていただけたのであれば、これ以上嬉しいことはありません。
We'd also like to acknowledge an outstanding individual performance across the tournament. The player of the series has demonstrated consistency, leadership and impact in the game. With a batting average heading into the final of 3.6, on-base average of 519, 12 RBIs, 3 home runs, I'm very excited to welcome up to the stage Japan's number 16, Saori Yamauchi.
「ここで今大会を通して際立った個人のパフォーマンスをたたえたいと思います。シリーズプレーヤー賞を受賞した選手はすべての試合において安定したプレー、リーダーシップ、チームに与える大きな影響力を見事に示してくれました。今夜のシリーズプレーヤー賞は沙織山内です。
To begin, we'd also like to invite the representatives of our runner-up team, Australia, to share a few words.
続いてシリーズプレーヤーまずはじめに準優勝のチームの代表の方に一言挨拶をお願いします。
Firstly, we'd just like to thank Brisbane Softball Association for hosting this amazing tournament. It's been a real privilege to be back playing at another Queensland venue. So if at some stage Kylie, Jenny, Byrne can work your way down to the front, we would love to give you something just as a special thanks on your way down. We'd also like to obviously thank the statisticians, the umpires that have been here all week. We can't do it without you, so thank you so much. The broadcast team, it's really amazing to see us back on KO and a fantastic broadcast, so thank you so much to the team up the top there for all your hard work.
まずはじめにブリスベンソフトボールのアソシエーションの方々本当にありがとうございます。またここのフィールドで参加されたのがすごくいい機会だと思います。あとブロードキャストの皆様本当にこの機会をくれていただいてありがとうございます。
Thank you so much for the fans, family, friends that came out to watch us over the past few days. Even during the week, thank you for taking the days off work, for supporting us. It means a lot to have people out here in the stands watching, and those at home, plus those that obviously flew here from Japan or New Zealand. And just lastly, love to say thank you to the Kiwis for coming over. It's been an absolute pleasure. We aren't too far away, so I hope that we can have some more competition. Obviously, as not many people come down under, so hopefully we can build a bit of a friendship and have a few more friendlies. So thank you so much for being here in the competition over the past few days. Japan, thank you so much. It's obviously been a great competition and a real battle. So we've really enjoyed having you here, and hopefully both countries and some more come back to play in this tournament. And thank you for coming.
次、家族や友達の皆様に本当にありがたい気持ちがあります。あとニュージーランドの皆様、本当国が近いため、もっとこれからもいろんな友情を高め、いい試合できたいと思います。あと日本に本当にこの体験ができて本当に嬉しいと思ってます。あとまた次の大会に会えるようにこれからも頑張りましょう。
And just lastly, I'd love to thank our sponsors, so AG Coombs and the rest of our sponsors that make these tournaments happen, and the Softball Australia staff that have worked tirelessly over the past few months to make this tournament happen. So thank you all.
ソフトボールのオーストラリアの皆様、本当にこの会場を立てていただいて本当にありがとうございます。
Thank you. And now we'd like to welcome the representative from our champion team, Japan.
それではシリーズチャンピオンチームの代表の方お迎えいたします。
まずはここでソフトボールができたことをすべての本当の方々、関係者の方々、本当にありがとうございました。
Firstly, I would like to thank everyone who's come here and hang on. For those that are involved in this tournament. Thank you so much.
あと共に戦ってくれたニュージーランドの皆さん、オーストラリアの皆さん、本当に素晴らしい試合をありがとうございました。
Thank you so much to New Zealand and Australia who fought through this tournament.
共にもっともっとソフトボールを盛り上げていきたいですし、私たちももっともっと強くなるので、お互いに切磋琢磨してソフトボールを盛り上げていきましょう。 一緒に、いや、もう一回言って。一緒にソフトボールを盛り上げていきましょう。
Let's turn up the party. I don't know.
Thank you.
Let's turn up the party indeed, and hopefully we'll keep that going all the way through to the World Cup here in Queensland next year. Congratulations once again on an excellent tournament and an excellent speech. A big thank you, of course, must go out to our teams, officials, volunteers, fans and umpires here in the stadium and watching around the world. I'm going to call the stage and ask to join me to present the trophy to the winning team of the tournament, Softball Australia CEO Sarah Lowe.
勝利のチームに送るため私たちともに登壇をいただくのはソフトボールオーストラリアの CEO サーラ・ローの様です。
Congratulations to the champions once again. I'll now invite them to the stage to come up for the winning photo and the presentation.
そしたらステージに入ってプレゼンテーションの写真を撮りに来てください。
Well, that just about wraps things up here from Downy Park in Brisbane. Your champions of the Australia Cup are Japan, and I just want to say thank you to everyone who's at home watching live on KO around the world on Game Time. 10 years in the making this has been for Eric, who's to my left, David, who's to Eric's left. We've been broadcasting softball for a decade, and now our first chance at an international event. We hope you've enjoyed our broadcast. Thank you, Eric, for making the time to come up, and thank you, David, Brandon, Josh and your team. Brilliant event. Well done to all the teams involved and to Softball Australia for putting on such a wonderful event.
Well, a big thanks to all the players on all the teams. They are the story no matter what jersey they wear. And we hope that you felt like you represented your country well, because we know that you did. So on behalf of everybody here at Softball Australia on KO, we'll leave you with pictures of all three teams. Good night from Downy Park.